One question that is always raised in this gruesome sport of ours that we love is who is at the top of it. Being a top 10 fighter of the sport at any time is a feat many dream of, but only few achieve. It takes blood, sweat, and sometimes even a few tears to reach the pinnacle of the sport. What may seem very barbaric and tribal to certain individuals, others see as an art in its purest form. Nevertheless, we take a deep dive into the top 10 pound-for-pound fighters to start 2024. Without further ado, let's get into it. Number 10. Jesse "Bam" Rodriguez. At number 10, we have the hard-hitting flyweight Jesse "Bam" Rodriguez, who is coming off the back of the best win of his career against a slick operator in Sonny Edwards. Many boxing experts and critics had this as a close 50-50 fight, but the American native boxer proved to be too much to handle for the Brit. Sonny was the superior boxer going into the bout, but Jesse was able to outbox him in many points during the fight and eventually get the stoppage in round 9, retaining his WBO world champion status.
That left hand's been landing the entire fight.
The tough fights for Bam don't stop there, as he will look to step into the squared circle next with Juan Francisco Estrada. Only time will tell how this scrap will play out. Number 9. Teofimo Lopez. Although Teo is one of the most decorated fighters in boxing today, it's fair to also describe his career as a chaotic roller coaster. The former lightweight king was among the redemption stories of 2023, thanks to a shocking rise to 140 pounds and a defeat of a long-reigning champion Josh Taylor at Madison Square Garden last June. Lopez simply schooled his counterpart Taylor and strolled to a unanimous decision win.
For your winner by unanimous decision, the takeover, Teofimo Lopez!
8 months later, he would lace up the gloves once more to take on the technician Jermaine Ortiz, who was coming off the back of a loss to Lomachenko, but made a great account of himself. The once beaten contender gave the new 140-pound champ a run for his money. Some even go as far to say that he deserved a better fate than the unanimous decision Lopez was awarded. Nevertheless, Teo retained his WBO World Championship and Ring Magazine belt, making him one of the best fighters in the world today. Number 8. Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Tank is without a doubt one of the most exciting fighters in the sport today. You can't help but be at the edge of your seat when watching him, because you know at any time he could launch one of his missiles and completely switch his opponent's lights out. He's coming off the back of a win in the biggest fight of 2023, which sold 1.2 million pay-per-views in the States against King Ryan Garcia. Gervonta was able to stop him with a lethal body shot in the 7th.
Tank Davis has put away Ryan Garcia in the 7th. Gervonta Davis.
If it feels like it's been a while since you saw Gervonta Davis in the ring, you're not wrong, as it would have been over a year since his last fight. But the skill set of this man cannot be denied. After Devin Haney let go of all the belts to move up in weight, Tank was elevated to WBA World Champion status, and it looks as if he will defend that belt against a top 5 contender in the lightweight division who is named Frank the Ghost Martin. Stylistically, the matchup is very intriguing, and most fight fans can't wait to see Tank back in the ring. Number 7. Shakur Stevenson. The man from Newark takes the number 7 spot. Shakur is coming off the back of a bad performance against a very underrated foe in Edward De Los Santos.
That's to keep the fighters inside the ring.
There's De Los Santos.
There's the frustration. There's the off the ring and trap Shakur to land that ball.
Edwin clearly brought something to the ring that night that made Stevenson very cautious. Nevertheless, Shakur was able to leave the arena with his undefeated record intact. He will look to right his wrongs and prove to the fans that he can be exciting on July 6 as he goes up against the number 6 contender in the lightweight division, Artem Harutyunyan, in his hometown. The fight won't likely move the needle in terms of intrigue, but offers Stevenson an opportunity to remain relevant for future bouts against a myriad of foes from 130 to 147 pounds. Front and center on the short list is IBF champ and fellow top-ranked promotional client Vasily Lomachenko. who returned to the belted class by stopping Kambosos Jr. on May 12th. Number 6. Dimitri Bivol. Just when it looked like Bivol might never add another victim to a list of 11 KOs he scored across his first 13 fights, sublimely skilled light heavyweight rediscovered his menace. Short-notice replacement Malik Zanat was on the receiving end of a 6-round beatdown on June 1st in Saudi Arabia, where Bivol had been scheduled to meet a fellow claimant, Artur Beterbiev, in an undisputed bout that was scuttled when the Russian-born fighter injured his knee. Bivol is a highly skilled operator with elite footwork, excellent punch selection, and tremendous ring IQ. Hopefully he is able to get the scrap with Beterbiev as soon as possible, as he would want to prove that he is the best light heavyweight in the world. Number 5. Artur Beterbiev. Artur Beterbiev took part in over 300 amateur fights, representing Russia at the international level and achieving great success.
A minute to go. Goodness me. Look at that. Terrific power again from the Turbia, and I think it's all over.
Beterbiev's style is very much a product of the former Soviet system. Wide stance, solid guard, square at close range, and lots of triggers to get the opponent to commit, and then counter that commitment. He was able to emulate this style in the pros to become a unified lightweight champion. He's coming off the back of 2 great fights, one of them arguably being the fight of the year in 2023, when he stepped in the squared circle with a gallant opponent in Anthony Yarde.
Anthony Yarde to continue. How will he deal with the onslaught from the beast? Nope, and Tunde Ajayi steps in.
He had to go through some adversity in that fight, but he would end up getting the job done, stopping Yarde. He would then go on to face another Brit, Callum Smith, who he was clearly too much for. It's safe to say the power is real, as Beterbiev still has his 100% knockout ratio. Hopefully he is able to recover soon, so we can see the undisputed bout between him and Bivol. Number 4. Canelo Alvarez. Coming in at number 4, we have the undisputed king of the 168-pound division, Saul Canelo Alvarez. Questions were being asked of Canelo as fans and critics wondered if he was the same fighter after some lackluster performances versus Jermell Charlo and John Ryder. But the Mexican superstar made his annual Cinco de Mayo appearance a successful one, with a workmanlike 12-round beating of previously undefeated countryman Jaime Munguia on May 4th at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas.
From bottom, Munguia didn't see that punch coming. Those are the ones that hurt you the most.
When 2 Mexicans go at it, we expect nothing less than a barnstormer, and that's exactly what we received. Canelo was even able to drop him during the fight, but Jaime's toughness showed, and he was able to make it to the end of the fight. Alvarez would pick up the unanimous decision win. Now he's back. Hopefully he can get on the highly anticipated bout between him and David Benavidez. Number 3. Terence Bud Crawford. Terence Crawford is arguably the most dangerous fighter on this list. As he has displayed, there is nothing he can't do in the ring. He has proven to everyone he is a true complete fighter, and the greatness doesn't stop there. Given that it's been 11 months since a career-defining thrashing of Errol Spence Jr. netted Crawford undisputed status in a second weight class.
He's got to get inside. He can't reach.
Oh my goodness! To the face of Spence by Crawford, and Crawford's accuracy just round on his unofficial scoreboard. And again, Terence Bud Crawford making it look way too easy. Oh, the right hook!
It's time to climb a new mountain. Bud is set to move to 154 pounds and face unbeaten WBA champion Israel Madrimov on August 3rd in Los Angeles, where a win would not only yield a title belt in a 4th consecutive decision, but also keep alive the prospect of an even bigger event down the line. The man from Nebraska has targeted 168-pound shot caller Canelo Alvarez for a fight, and now with the Saudis in play, the stakes are higher than ever. It begins to seem more and more likely if he's able to come through this fight versus Israel, whereas a loss could derail the whole thing. Number 2. Naoya Inoue. Naoya Inoue is named the Monster for good reason, as he just eats his way through the divisions collecting belt after belt. This man is truly astonishing. He finally showed his humanity in his last fight against Luis Nery, as he was dropped and encountered a fair bit of resistance.
Again on the attack, coming forward, reaching with that left hand. You see him forward shift. And Inoue right there just filling that gap.
He showed champion characteristics as he was able to get back on his feet and emerge victorious by stopping his foe in the 6th round in devastating fashion. It was the 31-year-old's 24th KO and 27 straight wins since turning pro in 2012, and the latest bullet point on a Hall of Fame resume that already includes titles at 4 weights, undisputed status at 2 weights, and barely a competitive fight in the bunch. He's had high praise from legendary promoter Bob Arum, as he went on to say, "Inoue is the best fighter I've ever seen," he told Jai McAllister. "The best I've ever seen, no matter what weight category or anything. I have never ever seen in the almost 60 years I've been in boxing, seen anything like Inoue." Bob's been around for many years and has seen the likes of Muhammad Ali in the flesh, so this is a massive statement from him. Number 1. Oleksandr Usyk. Oleksandr Usyk without a doubt comes in at the top of this list, as his resume speaks for itself. He has won everything at every single level in boxing, ranging from amateur to pro. Firstly undisputed at the cruiserweight division, then moved up to heavyweight, had a few warm-up fights, then took on a mammoth of a man in Anthony Joshua.
AJ is in trouble. Do you believe this? Yes, I believe it. Yes, I believe it.
Beat him in his own country to become unified heavyweight champ, retained the titles in the rematch. Then he took on the best heavyweight in the world, Tyson Fury, who weighs more than 40 pounds more than him, and came out on top. Not to mention he arguably stopped him in round 9. It wasn't all Usyk in the fight, as through the first half of the fight it looked like Fury had his number, but throughout his career Usyk has always found a way. And he did so again in the Fight Night versus Fury. The split decision which Usyk escaped with made him the first undisputed champion at heavyweight since Lennox Lewis in 1999, and the first in the sport's 4-belt era. The question is no longer where he ranks today, but where he will rank in all time. Well, there you have it, folks. Halfway through the year and there have been some shifts in the pound-for-pound rankings. With another 6 months left, only time will tell who will enter and leave this list. Do you agree with our top 10 pound-for-pound list so far this year? Leave in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, turn on those post notifications so you don't miss another video just like this one. We'll see you in the next one.